15 Benefits of Cycling. Why cycling is great for fitness, legs and mind. If you're considering joining the world of cycling, here are some good reasons to get on your bike this year. To those already engrossed in the cycling world, the benefits of cycling will already be abundantly clear, but for anyone who needs a reason to get out on the bike, here's a list of some of the biggest perks. The bonuses to cycling, including physical health benefits of cycling, mental health benefits of cycling, and an almost guaranteed broadening of your social circle, are as numerous as the beautiful roads you can find. But when it comes to picking a new hobby, there are of course plenty of options out in the world to weigh up, so here's why we think cycling is the best. 1. Cycling improves mental well-being. A study by the YMCA showed that people who had a physically active lifestyle had a well-being score 32% higher than inactive individuals. There are so many ways that exercise can boost your mood. There's the basic release of adrenaline and endorphins, and the improved confidence that comes from achieving new things, such as completing a sportive or getting closer to that goal. Cycling combines physical exercise with being outdoors and exploring new views. You can ride solo, giving you time to process worries or concerns, or you can ride with a group, which broadens your social circle. Former hour record holder Graham Abbree has suffered from depression through much of his life, and told us, getting out and riding will help people suffering with depression. Without cycling, I don't know where I would be. 2. Strengthen your immune system by cycling. This one is particularly relevant during the global COVID-19 pandemic. Dr. David Neiman and his colleagues at Appalachian State University studied 1,000 adults up to the age of 85. They found that exercise had huge benefits on the health of the upper respiratory system, thus reducing instances of the common cold. Neiman said, people can knock down sick days by about 40% by exercising aerobically on most days of the week, while at the same time receiving many other exercise-related health benefits. Professor Tim Noakes, of exercise and sports science at the University of Cape Town, South Africa, also tells us that mild exercise can improve our immune system by increasing production of essential proteins and waking up lazy white blood cells. Why choose the bike? Cycling to work can reduce the time of your commute, and free you from the confines of germ-infused buses and trains. There is a but. Evidence suggests that immediately after intense exercise, such as an interval training session, your immune system is lowered, but adequate recovery such as eating and sleeping well can help to reverse this. 3. Cycling can help you lose weight. The simple equation, when it comes to weight loss, is calories out must exceed calories in. So you need to burn more calories than you consume to lose weight. Cycling burns calories, between 400 and 1,000 an hour, depending on intensity and rider weight. Of course, there are other factors. The makeup of the calories you consume affects the frequency of your refueling, as does the quality of your sleep, and of course the amount of time you spend burning calories will be influenced by how much you enjoy your chosen activity. Assuming you enjoy cycling, you'll be burning calories. And if you eat a healthy diet that creates a calorie deficit, one that is controlled and does not put you at risk of long-term health conditions, stress, you should lose weight. 4. Cycling builds muscle. The resistance element of cycling means that it doesn't just burn fat, it also builds muscle, particularly around the glutes, hamstrings, quads, and calves. Muscle is leaner than fat, and people with a higher percentage of muscle burn more calories even when sedentary. To be clear, you won't end up with quads like a track sprinter unless you invest a serious amount of time at the squat rack. But you will develop a nice toned derriere. 5. You can enjoy second breakfasts after cycling. If you decide to cycle to work, you've got a great excuse to add a couple of extra snacks to your day. Since a half-hour ride to work should be burning between 200 and 500 calories, you've got a license to enjoy a smug second breakfast at your desk. If you're serious about burning fat, you could do your morning ride fasted, sans breakfast, but that's mainly a habit reserved for the most dedicated of riders, and it's a training tool best used with care, and in moderation, to avoid negative effects on your health. 6. Cyclists have better lung health. You won't be alone if this point seems contradictory to common sense. But studies have suggested that people who ride a bike are actually exposed to fewer dangerous fumes than those who travel by car. A study by the Healthy Air Campaign, King's College London, and Camden Council saw air pollution detectors fitted to a driver, a bus user, a pedestrian and a cyclist using a busy route through central London. The results showed that the driver experienced 5 times higher pollution levels than the cyclist, as well as 3.5 more than the walker and 2.5 times more than the bus user. Long story short, the cyclist won. 7. Cycling cuts heart disease and cancer risk. Cycling raises your heart rate and gets the blood pumping round your body, and it burns calories, limiting the chance of your being overweight. As a result, it's among a selection of forms of exercise recommended by the NHS as being healthy ways to cut your risk of developing major illnesses such as heart disease and cancer. New evidence was presented in the form of a study conducted by the University of Glasgow earlier this year. Researchers studied over 260,000 individuals over the course of 5 years, and found that cycling to work can cut a rider's risk of developing heart disease or cancer in half. The full study can be read here. Dr. Jason Gill of the Institute of Cardiovascular and Medical Sciences commented, cycling all or part of the way to work was associated with substantially lower risk of adverse health outcomes. 8. Cycling is low impact. Many of the upshots we discuss when we talk about the benefits of cycling are exercise related. Reckon it might be easier to just go for a run. Running is weight bearing, and therefore injury rates are higher. Cycling, by contrast to running, is not weight-bearing. When scientists compared groups of exercisers, long-distance runners and cyclists, they found the runners suffered 133 to 144% more muscle damage, 256% more, inflammation and DOMS 87% higher, whilst cycling is less likely to result in an overuse injury. They can still crop up. A professional bike fit is a good idea. Skimping here is a false economy if you end up spending more cash on physio. The lack of weight bearing also means that cycling does not do as much to increase bone density as other sports, so it's a good idea to add a little strength training into your program. 9. Cycling saves time. Compare these 3 experiences: get in a car, sit in traffic, queue to get into the car, park, pay to park, arrive, walk to bus stop, wait for bus, complain about bus being late, get on bus, pay, watch as it takes you round the houses, arrive, about half a mile from your destination, get on the bike, filter past traffic, lock the bike, arrive. Short journeys contribute massively to global pollution levels, and often involve a fair amount of stationary staring at the bumper in front. Get on the bike, and you'll save on petrol or cash on public transport, as well as time. 10. Cycling improves navigational skills. In the world of cars, sat-navs and Google Maps, sometimes there's just not that much incentive to sharpen your natural sense of direction, however superior or otherwise it may be, unless you've invested in a GPS cycling computer with mapping capabilities. Then getting out and exploring the lanes can provide essential exercise for your internal mapping capabilities, giving you, with practice, a better idea of which way is west. 11. Cycling improve your sex life. Most of us know that sex is a good thing, but not everyone knows that it's actually good for your overall health. In fact, regular sex could indeed prolong your life. Dr. Michael Roizen, who chairs the Wellness Institute at the Cleveland Clinic, says, the typical man who has 350 orgasms a year, versus the national average of around a quarter of that, lives about 4 years longer. Similar findings were revealed for women. So can cycling improve your sex life? Well, it builds some rather essential muscle groups. Dr. Matthew Forsyth, urologist and keen cyclist from Portland, Oregon, commented, all these muscles, worked on the bike, are used during intercourse. The better developed these muscles, the longer and more athletic intercourse will be. Add in that, thanks to spending plenty of time showing off all the lumps and bumps in skin-tight lycra, and occasionally 007, cyclists tend to be fairly comfortable in their own skin, and you've got a recipe for success. 12. Cyclists sleep better. It probably isn't rocket science that tiring yourself out on the bike will improve your sleep, but now it's been proven. Researchers at the University of Georgia studied men and women aged 20 to 85 over a period of 35 years. And found that a drop in fitness of 2% for men and 4% for women resulted in sleep problems. Dr. Rodney Dishman was one of the lead authors, and commented, "The steepest decline in cardiorespiratory fitness happens between ages 40 and 60. This is also when problems of sleep duration and quality are elevated." Looking for causes behind the link, the scientists suggested it could be a reduction in anxiety, brought about by exercise, that elevates the ability to sleep. Exercise also protects against weight gain with age, which is another cause of sleep dysfunction. 13. Cycling boosts your brain power. Exercise has been repeatedly linked to brain health, and the reduction of cognitive changes that can leave us vulnerable to dementia later in life. A 2013 study found that during exercise, cyclists' blood flow in the brain rose by 28% and up to 70% in specific areas. Not only that, but after exercise, in some areas blood flow remained up by 40% even after exercise. Improved blood flow is good because the red stuff delivers all sorts of goodies that keep us healthy, and the study concluded that we should cycle for 45 to 60 minutes. At 75 to 85% of max, here rate reserve, max heart rate minus resting heart rate, 4 times a week. Nothing stopping you riding more, of course. 14. Cycling improves spatial awareness. Cycling isn't just about raising your heart rate and getting you breathless, unless you're doing it on Zwift. There are technical elements, climbing, descending, and cornering all teach you to use your body weight to get the bike to go where you want it to. Gaining the skills to manage these technical elements can provide a massive confidence boost, especially when you start to see improvement. Plus, you might just find your abilities to manage that dodgy shopping trolley with the wonky wheels greatly improves. 15. Grow your social circle through cycling. Cycling is an incredibly sociable sport. Grassroots cycling revolves around cycling club culture, which in turn revolves around the Saturday or Sunday club run. Several hours of riding at an intensity that enables easy chat, interrupted only by a cafe stop, or the occasional puncture. Joining a cycling club or group is an excellent way to grow your social circle, and if you're new to riding, you'll probably find all the maintenance and training advice you may have been looking for there. 2. So, that's fairly conclusive. All that remains is to check out our beginner advice for cyclists, buy, or borrow, a bike if you've not already, and decide how often you want to get out and ride.